everyone, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button. Please do subscribe. It is Thursday morning, the sun is out, the sun is shining here in Rochester, and I'm here with my lovely Chihuahua, Max. Right, Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 2017, the Antarctic Heritage Trust discovered a perfectly preserved 100-year-old fruitcake in a hut used by explorer Robert Falcon Scott. It apparently looked and smelled edible, but conservationists stopped short of taking a bite.
So, an old fruitcake. That's hilarious. Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 8:39 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Thursday, the 10th of August.
Alexa, what's the weather like?
Currently, in Rochester it's 19 degrees Celsius with clear skies and sun. Today, you can expect intermittent clouds, with a high of 25 degrees and a low of 15 degrees. Also, there's a flood alert in effect.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
What's a pirate's favourite kind of seafood? Pieces of skate.
So guys, like I said, it's Thursday morning. What I do is I get up, I feed my two lovely elderly cats who are over 12 years old. I feed my dog Max. I open the blinds, water my lovely plants on the balcony, which I'm very pleased because I love my pot plants, and I've grown these plants from seed, some of them, and I didn't expect any of them to grow. So I've got wild poppies, I've got orange and yellow flowers, and I'm really pleased this year with my gardening. So I also make myself a cup of coffee. My iPhone pinged this morning with someone saying, "Good morning, beautiful." So my iPhone was pinging. So again, someone started saying, "Good morning, beautiful." So I just go along with it. I'm not cross this morning. The bin men haven't banged early this morning. They're due to empty the bins here in Corey's Road. So our bin men come Thursday, so sometimes they come about 7 in the morning, and I'm glad they didn't this morning. I really am. The noise and the clatter in the bin store when the bin men pull the bins out and put them back in. I think it's an excellent job, and I praise these guys that do these jobs in all the hot weather, because it's a horrible job to do, isn't it? Go around emptying people's rubbish on a hot sunny day, and builders building in the heat in full protective gear. I praise everyone working in this weather. It's awful. Without bin men, without builders, we wouldn't have any homes, and our rubbish would be strewn all over the place. So these jobs should indeed reflect their hard work. The pay should reflect their hard work. Right, so today I've got no plans to do anything. Basically, I obviously take my little Chihuahua for a walk each morning, each afternoon and in the evening, and I enjoy doing that. So yesterday afternoon, a guy came up to me because his dog was coming towards Max. He apologised. I said, "That's okay, that's fine." I said, "My dog barks at people." And I said, "What type of dog is that?" Because it was a strange looking tiny dog. He said it was a cross between a Shih Tzu and a Yorkshire Terrier, because it had the face of a Yorkshire Terrier but it had a funny body. So it was a cross between a Shih Tzu and a Yorkshire Terrier. Nice curly orange fringe it had. He also had an elderly white dog. So he had an older white dog and a tiny dog. So people are breeding dogs together and they're coming out with these cockapoos, aren't they? And I don't know. He told me what it was, but a cross between a Shih Tzu and a Terrier. There was a name for it, but I've forgotten. Because yesterday, I was trying to dodge getting run over, to be honest. Last night I went for a walk and there was a roller skater. I think I did a video last night about it. A very pretty roller skater with long dark hair. My hair is short and it's gingery. So she was skating with a very skimpy pair of black shorts on, because someone had said to me before I went out yesterday evening, what are you wearing? I said shorts and a t-shirt because the weather's hot. So there was this beautiful skater skating up and down the path. I haven't got long black hair. Charlie's girlfriend's got long black hair. The guy I met on the field months ago, she's got long black hair with grey bits in it. I walked around the field yesterday afternoon. There was a family fishing. Last night there was a couple of people stood by the river. I didn't feel depressed yesterday. I felt a bit upset, even wary about going outside, etc. I'm just an ordinary member of the public, just trying to go about my business. I'm nice to people. If people approach me, speak to me, I'm not rude, I'm not nasty, I'm polite. No, I'm not beautiful. I've never been beautiful, but I've always been interested in what people have got to say. I'm interested in pets and animals and nature. I just like, finding out facts and information and learning. I'm not a nasty person at all. I don't think what you look like affects you as a human being. I don't think I personally look like an alien or a monster. I don't know who they're taking the mickey out of, but to me, nobody really pays me any attention. I'm not that hideous. I command everybody's attention and everyone stares at me. I mean, really? People, an alien. Do I look like an alien? Do I look like E.T.? Do I look like a monster from the deep? I don't think so. I just think I look like an ordinary woman. I don't know where this has started. I don't know where it's coming from. I just laugh and carry on with my day. I go on YouTube and I see other people, being taken the mickey out of. And they have disabilities. They might be blind. They might have an eating disorder. And it's not funny what people make fun of. I don't find it funny. In fact, I'd like to meet people like myself that get taken the mickey out of for no reason at all. Because I can't see one. I went up on the field yesterday and my neighbour upstairs has got a blue Ford Mondeo and there was a car parked opposite the field when I was walking on it with the number plate ET, and someone called me an alien, and ET stands for extraterrestrial. So I'm walking, I'm happy. Yesterday was pretty boring because I was stuck indoors of my own volition, admittedly, because I wasn't in the mood to go outside and deal with bullies. I wasn't in the mood for it. There's days I'll get up and I think, fuck it, I don't give a shit what everybody says, I'm just going to go and I'm gonna do this. But then there's other days I get up and I just can't cope with it. And I just want to stay home, and it is hot and you want to do things, but you know, you can't do much in the heat anyway, and all food goes off really quick. And you don't want to eat anyway, you just want nice ice cold drinks, like an ice cold Pepsi with ice, you know? So yeah, this car parked outside Costa's had the number plate ET. And you've got a man dressed in my mother Jennifer's jeans with some green thing protruding out of his back pocket, and I just wasn't in the mood for it. Trying to make me feel ugly and hideous so that I don't go outside, I hide indoors, don't speak to fit people, and there's nothing wrong with me at all. In fact, I spoke to more people yesterday than I had done all week. It's ridiculous. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
And maybe even save yourself some money. Kayak searches thousands of deals across hundreds of travel sites, so you don't have to. Easy peasy, ocean breezy. Let Kayak find your next flight for less. Search Kayak and go see for yourself.
Nick Ferrari Breakfast on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
8:49 is the time. Here's an interesting comment from Lee Hewson about the story we've just given you concerning the raid on Oxford Street, or attempted raid on Oxford Street, and the 8 arrests that were made. Lee Hewson says the attempted robbery was a result of the revelations last week that shoplifting is now effectively permitted, fires grow fast unchecked. Of course, we did learn, didn't we, that security staff are told just to let the person walk out with the sandwich, or whatever it might be, the packet of crisps, a jacket or something, and staff aren't meant to chase after them either, so is it? We might come back to that. Joel Thaxter, thank you for hanging on. Your view of Diane Abbott's language yesterday with the tweet.
Morning, Nick. Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah. So, Diane Abbott, now I don't totally agree with everything she says. However, her comments compared to Lee Anderson's, Lee Anderson sort of brings up rhetoric that shouldn't be used, but you don't sort of condone his language, do you really?
I support his sentiment. I don't support the use of the F word, no.
Okay, yeah, and also, Nick, so answer me these few questions. So your grandfather came here as a migrant?
He did.
Yes?
Yes.
And what was his reasons for coming here?
To open restaurants with his brother.
So to better his life, yeah?
Yes. Yes, although
Okay,
why
so
he used
what
it
route-
still
what-
won't work out,
what-
anyway.
Okay, what routes did he take to get here?
He came via train and then boat to Calais, from Calais,
Right, so why didn't he stop off in Calais?
because he had papers
Why
allowing
did he-
him to come to the United Kingdom.
Okay, so there were legal routes for him to come to
He
this
did.
country, yeah?
Yeah, from my memory, yeah, he did pursue a legal route
Okay.
with my dad, who was
So
like
the-
3 of them.
So all these other people who are wishing to better their lives, they have no legal routes to get here.
Right, okay. But
So
once
why
they get...
do you condone all these people
Because,
trying to get here
hold
all
on,
the time?
no,
Why
no,
can't... Why?
because once they get here, and by the way, my grandfather never received any support whatsoever. He and his brother put some money down. They bought one restaurant, small cafe actually in Hastings, which then became a restaurant, and then they bought 2. But that doesn't matter. They were never took money. If you get here and then you're offered accommodation and board on a barge, you should take it.
Nick, let me speak.
Well,
Yeah, so if these people... Yes, okay, you've answered it. So another question. If these people come here, okay, with the routes that they're not allowed to get here, but they come here anyway,
Yeah.
they should be processed immediately
I agree.
or as soon as possible, okay?
Yeah.
And if their process is good and they're allowed to stay in the country, they should be given a national insurance number.
No.
Then they should be able to work.
No.
Then they will be able to pay taxes. Then they will be able to help the economy.
Well,
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Well, then there's just...
And then there wouldn't be
Joel,
174,000 backlog of
let's have any... Just
citizens
let
claiming benefits
Joel,
and being
Joel.
put up in hotels, which you
Joel.
keep telling everyone's wrong.
Joel, just let everybody in then. Just don't bother with any checks. If you're going to give everyone a national insurance number upon arrival, let everyone come
But
in.
your grandfather was fortunate at the time that there was legal routes to come in, and it was
Yes.
okay for them to do that.
Yes.
So why is there no legal routes now?
But simply
Because
because
your
of-
right wing Tory party
What
you
my-
support so much.
What my
And
grand-
it's stopping people.
What my grandfather was able to avail himself of in the 1920s was a relatively very, very small number who came here. Now we have to face, now it might not be like this in Thaxted, I don't know, but we have to face a situation that we must control immigration, because if it's not controlled, we won't have room.
Everybody, so-
No, Joe,
No,
we won't have room in schools, we won't have room in hospitals, no. And your idea, everyone gets an NI number, a national insurance number, is frankly utterly insane.
Not everyone.
You said
The people,
everyone,
the people are allowed to stay in.
You just said give them all an NI
Then
number.
they'll be contributing to the country and paying tax rather than claiming benefits.
No.
Wouldn't that be a solution?
No.
We're short. How many people are short? Okay, of employment in this country. I thought it was like 200,000 people shortage. Why don't we?
If you emigrate if you go to the United States, what they call, there's a social security number. Their NI number is a social security number. You don't even get that on a working visa. You only get that when you get a green card. You don't get that on a working visa. On a visa, you get that on a green card or obviously nationality. You can't hand out NI numbers just because you copped it off the boat. It doesn't make sense, Joel. We'll never be able to build enough on. I didn't know that Thaxted was so well off for hospitals and for school places, because clearly you've got no pressure in either. Other parts of the country, they have. So I'm all for controlled migration. I'm only sitting here because of controlled migration. I am not a fan of uncontrolled migration, which you are.
No. I didn't
You
say
are.
that.
Let them all come. There aren't any routes, so let
I
them all
didn't
come.
say let them all come. Did I say let them all come?
You
Did I
said
say that?
give them all.
No.
You said give them all NI numbers, which is then they're free to go. Thank you for your input on that. We're not going to Switzerland. We are not going to France. We're going to Australia. Death by mushrooms. 3 people lost their lives. This is the moment Erin Patterson, who cooked the dish, spoke to journalists for the first time.
I'm so devastated by what's happened, by the loss of Donnie's still in hospital, the loss of Ian and Heather and Gail. They were some of the best people that I've ever met. Gail was like, Gail was the mum that I didn't have because my mum passed away 4 years ago. And Gail's never been anything but good and kind to me. And Ian and Heather were some of the best people I've ever met. They never did anything wrong to me. I'm so devastated about what's happened. Just can't believe it.
Can you tell us where the mushrooms came from? Police say you're a suspect. Do you have anything to say about
Yes,
that?
I say I didn't do anything. I loved them. And I'm devastated that they're gone. And I hope with every fibre of my being that Don pulls through.
So that's Erin Patterson, the chef and the host. It's now revealed her estranged husband was due to have attended that meal, but obviously didn't show. Simon Love, senior reporter at Sky News Australia in Melbourne, joins me now. What more background can you give us? How is this story developing, Simon? Morning.
Hello, Nick. Nice to speak with you. Well, we're into day 4 of this mystery. It was first revealed Sunday, Australian time, that Victoria Police were investigating these deaths, and it's now attracted quite big attention about exactly how these people have died. They all attended a lunch in Victoria's southeast in the town of Leongatha late last month. Now, you heard from Erin Patterson there. She invited the 48-year-old, and I'll be very clear that although police say she is a suspect, there has been no charges laid at this point. So 48-year-old Erin Patterson invited her former in-laws, Gail and Don Patterson, they're both 70 years old, Gail's sister, 66-year-old Heather Wilkinson, and her husband for the lunch. Now, after the lunch, the Patterson couple I just mentioned and Ms. Wilkinson died in hospital, and Ian Wilkinson is currently fighting for life, waiting for a liver transplant. The latest developments are that the police have gone to a nearby rubbish tip and found a dehydrator, and they're looking into that as a potential piece of evidence. as they investigate whether potential death trap mushrooms that have been foraged in that Gippsland area could have contributed to these people's deaths.
How often do people die from mushroom poisoning in Australia, Simon?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. We haven't heard a lot about deaths in the recent times, but I know full well as a government reporter or a reporter on government affairs and legal affairs at the health department. They put out a warning about 4 months ago about the dangers of poisonous mushrooms. So clearly the Victorian health authorities were aware of the dangers of these things, and now we have a scenario where it's...
Right guys, I've just got to get on with my morning. I've just watering the rest of my plants with this elephant watering can. It actually came from the pound shop. I hope everybody has a lovely day and I'll see you later.